everyone, I'm back. Let's open up this video. Hello everyone, Raza here, and welcome to the Power Rangers Ninja Steel vlog with the episode, The Royal Rival. Though it's kind of confusing at first with what they mean of who the Royal Rival is, but let's move on with how it starts off. It shows the Rangers at school as Sarah, being the smart one in the group, invented a device where, yeah, people love cookies, but you can't have cookies every day. You have to eat something healthy. So she invented a device which takes any food you have, convert it into a cookie, and it'll be tasty. While Victor was calling out all the shots, trying to be all better than everybody, even using Monty's lunch, which was broccoli, sardine, and liver sandwich. Well, it is healthy. And made it into a delicious cookie. And the whole point of the project was more on a business savvy, which, that's actually kind of smart on how students could actually learn how businesses work. But at the same time, because of the fact they were more of like rubbing in Sarah, trying to make it seem like she screwed up, Victor and Monty didn't have their own project. Oh well. Over on the villain side, they found the Lion's spaceship comes in, and we get introduced to Princess Vera, and her assistant Drillion, the monster of the week. The princess is shown that she wants to take out the Rangers, showing that she is a powerful princess, but a lot of the rumors are going around that she's actually the weakest. Though it's never explained why she's the weakest. Don't know. Back at the park, where our Rangers have set up their own little store, they're having people enjoy the cookies, they're making their own healthy style food, and because of how long the lines is, Preston is using his magic to cut the food faster a little bit, which, didn't they say don't abuse your magic? It was given that he's not allowed to use his magic for personal gain, and that's considered a personal gain. Then again, the Ribbon Ranger kind of screwed that up also. Well, Victor and Monty decided to do, you can't have cookies without milk, so they decided to open up a little milk store. Which would work if they know how to milk a cow. Yeah, they had a cow and they didn't know how to milk it. They even did the whole tailing pump situation. Monty solved the answer, which got Victor covered in milk and broke most of the stand. And at the same time, a police officer found them because of a missing cow. Which, yeah, they stole a cow. Even though they admitted it was a cow by the fence, they didn't know. This is like a little bit of a city area, so where did they find a cow? Honestly. Well, whatever. At the exact same moment, we found out how do the Rangers find out when a monster comes down to the city, where Redbot basically scans the city, and when he sees the camera bots that fly around videotaping the Galactic Warrior thing, that's when the Rangers know that the monster's coming down. They jump in, while Mick takes over runs the whole cookie business, and they meet Drillion, who's showing to be a destructive threat by destroying cars, throwing motorcycles, and the princess is just up above them all, watching the whole fight through, using a staircase, I think what it was. Well, anyway, Drillion is shown to be an evil threat. He was beating the Rangers to the point where even when they're attacked, when he throws one of his long-range attacks, they had to deflect it to save themselves. And that deflection hits where the princess is, causing her to fall, and the Pink Ranger solved it ASAP, used her vine magic, to save the princess. Which causing the princess to have some thoughts and calling off the battle. The Rangers are confused at what's going on, but they're putting two together that the princess and the monster work together. at the evil villain's base, everyone's getting all complaining because of the fact that the princess basically called off an attack when Brillion could have won. And she said that she wants to study the Rangers, which makes her think because of the fact that they're her enemies and yet they stopped to save her. That's making her think. While at the same time, Drillion's getting a little annoyed because of the fact that it's proving that the princess is weak. And Galvanax is thinking, why don't you be the ruler? So, wow. The whole ship is nothing but a bunch of backstabbers. We have Odeon backstabbing Galvanax, and we have Drillion backstabbing the princess. We get back to the cookie sales, where they're all cleaning up. Well, Sarah's being left behind to finish it up, all the cleaning. The princess comes in and wants to know about the cookies that she's selling. So, in the Lion Galaxy, cookies exist. The princess loves the cookies, and then a young boy stole the cookies. To which Sarah's trying to stop the thief, and the princess is shown that she could shapeshift, turning into like a cloak, carpet. It wrapped around him, the thief, and put him in a lock. Sarah comes up, and the princess is ready to decide on what Sarah's punishment for the boy would be. And we get a little bit of a sad story about the thief. He's basically dropped out of school to take care of his younger sister. He doesn't have any food to basically feed his sister, so he decided to take the cookies. Sarah said, yeah, stealing cookies would not be that good. So that leads to the question. The cookies are supposed to be healthy, and yet stealing the cookies is considered a bad health item? Okay, I'm just guessing there. I understand that stealing the cookies is bad, but stealing the cookies to feed to his sister is considered bad. Because it's the whole thief of the bread thing. I understand what they're meaning. So Sarah decided to be nice and give the boy the cookie machine so he could sell them and make money. Which, that would work, but at the same time, wouldn't he have to make money to buy ingredients to make the cookies? Or is he going to ask people to bring food and they convert it into a cookie for them to sell, basically as a style of he actually gets money for turning it into a cookie? I'm just confused. It's just when you think from a bigger perspective, you start to question things, but it does try to make sense. The heart's in the right place. The princess is wondering about why is Sarah nice and could have just become a ranger to fight her, and the moment she said Power Ranger, Sarah put two and two together and discovered that the person she's talking to was the princess. And at the same time, Brillion shows up to attack the Rangers. Lucky the other 5 show up to help. They all morph, getting ready to fight, while the princess has an idea to help the Rangers out. As she runs off, she just says give her some time. The Rangers are fighting Brillion, and yeah, he is a big threat. When he was able to destroy both Preston and Sarah's element stars, so they can't use an element to fight back, he broke Brody's sword, bent Calvin's sword, and even when they fired their best attacks at him, it did nothing. It was basically them attacking a giant force of nature. No matter what weapon they use, he can counter it and take it out. And throughout this whole villain time up on the ship, the princess is sneakily by, gets back into her lion's ship, and flies off, while Galvanax is annoyed and decides to make Drillion a giant monster. And at the same time, throw in a couple of Skulligators. So basically a threat that the Rangers couldn't even beat normally, he turns into a giant monster, making the threat even bigger and adding some Skulligators to the mix. They call out their Megazords, fuse the Zords together to make it, And they only had enough power to basically destroy two Skullgators because Drillion basically destroyed that Zord, taking it apart to the point where it just left red and gold Zord, and even beat those two. Just showing that Drillion is a big threat. And just when the Rangers thought they lost, the Lion ship shows up, shoots Drillion to the point where he escapes, and Galvanax's ship shoots the Lion ship as it basically crashes somewhere or in a mountain region area. So that is surprising. There's actually a monster threat that the Rangers can't beat on their own, even with their combined Zord. It is shown that he's still a big threat. Excuse me, everyone. Back at school, as they're doing day 2 of their business projects, Sarah explains that she can't talk more about her project because of the fact that she basically gave it away. And she was about to get an F until the boy showed up and explained what happened. Which, because of the fact that Sarah did a good deed, she basically received an A+. So it proved that at least the machine still works, and somehow the boy has made money to the point where he can go back to school. Which leads to the question, who's running the cookie machine? How is it still producing the food and all of that? Well, anyway, as soon as the teacher calls for Victor and Monty to show their project, it still shows them in custody doing the whole lineup thing, and what makes it funny? A cow is pointing out who did it. They could at least put them in normal clothing while they're being pointed out to. Everyone else is like wearing normal clothing, and those two are wearing farmer outfits. It all ends with the princess walking away from the lion's ship while it's basically been, broke would be the right words. So that's where it leads off. This episode actually does a better job than the previous episodes. With a monster threat that's shown to be more of a threat, the fact that the Rangers can't beat him with their normal powers, they can't beat it with their Megazord. Even with their Megazord's max, it couldn't even do a massive dent, showing that Drillion is actually putting in their A game. So it means that a trained warrior can do a better job than a bunch of contestants. Hopefully that means the contestants after Drillion are going to be putting in their A game. The princess, I wish they gave her more details. Hopefully the next episode they'll explain why is she weak. It explains that she's from a society where they will use force and punishment. Kindness is considered the last thing you would think of. So hopefully they'll explain more about the princess in details. Because what we got is more, she's shown to be an evil princess, but the moment kindness is introduced to her, she starts having a confliction. Funny enough, the comedicness with Victor and Monty actually does a better job. So I give them credit with that. And I can't wait to see how next week's episode is going to be. And since I still don't want to talk about yokais because demons are considered scary and evil, let's move on to the yokai fact with Raza. The monster of the week is based off of the yokai Nu, which is technically a chimera. And, BV, that is not a chimera. Get that thing off the screen.
You have no heart.
I'm an android. Of course I have no heart. Now take it off and put the actual chimera on there. Thank you. As you know, the chimera is a beast that is composed of a lion, a goat, and a snake. While a Nu is almost the exact same thing, except with more animals. Baboon, lion, tiger, tanuki, which is basically a raccoon dog, and snake. Though there are some variations where it'll have a chicken torso, but I'm just questioning the logic of the chimera. It is shown in the culture that it's more ferocious beast, that people should be afraid of it. And based on the monster it's based off of, you could see how ferocious he is. Seeing it in popular culture, besides the video game Noi, I think I pronounced it right, if you saw the series Bleach, the Zanpakuto spirit Zabimaru is based off of a Nu. being baboon, tiger, and snake. And BV, please get that thing off of the screen. I don't know what it is.
Read a goddamn manga or watch the anime.
Hell no, that's Raza's thing, not mine. Oh my god, why did they just show me that picture? I'm sorry everyone, you didn't need to see me cry like that. Let's just end the video here. I'm sorry, I don't want you guys to see me like this.